Thank you for joining us today. I didn't realize you were all waiting. Sorry to keep you waiting. I think we made a very important announcement today about our strong publicly funded healthcare system and the need to include mental health care under OHIP. And I'm here to take your questions along with my candidates.
Bonnie, on that note, that's a pretty big announcement to say you're looping in mental health into OHIP. That's a pretty big umbrella of those. So can you give us a better sense of what you mean by that and what would be included and the costs as well?
Yeah, it is a big issue, but we can't afford not to do it anymore, I think is the real answer, Mark. And of course, we would provide that supplemental care that many people don't have coverage for, because many people, some, work for companies that do provide mental health care for their employees, and this would be for those consultants, contract workers, gig workers that don't have that kind of coverage. What will it cost? This should be an expansion of Medicare, quite frankly. Up and running, it would cost $1 billion, but I truly think that money exists from the transfers that we receive from the federal government that, quite frankly, Doug Ford is sitting on and doesn't disperse to health care. They keep it in revenue, or I'm not sure where it goes, but it doesn't go where it's needed.
That said, that's the obvious follow-up question for probably all of my colleagues in terms of a costed platform. When do we see
Yeah, we're working on it. It was a snap election in the middle of the winter, Mark, so we're all working on it. Most of our announcements have been made, and we've announced the cost each time. So certainly you know that our health care program would cost $3 billion, et cetera. So we'll keep it coming out as we know. Thank you. Soon.
Hi, Bonnie. Your main opponent, Mr. Ford, today was promising to eliminate interprovincial trade barriers. He was campaigning unusually with the Premier of Nova Scotia. I'm just wondering, what you think about eliminating. You mentioned trade barriers in your speech. Is this too little, too late?
Oh, you just took the words from my mouth. Thank you. He's had 7 years. But now, on the eve of a crisis with a trade war threat and tariff threat, now he's moving on it? We needed to diversify our trading partners years ago, to build up relationships with other trading partners abroad and interprovincially with other provinces as well. We need more standardization with respect to accreditation, etc. We need to trade with more easily for the flow of goods, services, etc., with other provincial partners, with our other provinces. It's past time.
And tomorrow, Mr. Ford's headed to Washington for the second time of the campaign to lobby governors at the National Governors Association with other premiers. Are you supportive of that push? Something's got to be done to fight tariffs, surely.
Well, I well know that the push will come from the federal government, and I ask where the relationship building with other governors and has been for the past 7 years. And quite frankly, I think the Premier proved that the last trip to Washington was a photo op opportunity with low-level advisors, and he hasn't disclosed whether or not he's had the opportunity to meet with Elon Musk, as Wab Kinew had, and had that opportunity to tear up the $100 million contract with Starlink that we all know he should have ripped up, he shouldn't have signed. So, if you know you're going to go to Washington, why'd you call an election a year and a half early when you have a majority government? You should be at your desk working to protect jobs instead of your own job. The reality has been absent for most of this election campaign, for half of it, in fact. And now this is the second trip to Washington. He's not meeting the media. He's not being held accountable for his record here in Ontario, and now he's leaving once again. This, for me, of course, is a clear breach of the Caretaker Convention protocol. They shouldn't be using taxpayers' money, so I hope that they're using party expenses to finance this travel abroad, as far as I'm concerned. Thank you.
Hey, Bonnie. Just following up on this interprovincial trade barriers question, just to clarify, is this something you would do if you form government? Are you in favor of that?
Yes, I am. I think we need to increase. I've said this before. I said it on the stage today. We need to diversify our economy by diversifying our sectors and build in more than just the reliance on EV batteries. We need to build up other industries as well. we need to look for other trading partners, whether it's Europe, Asia, Mexico, other provinces right here. Why aren't we doing more trade right here domestically in Canada? This is something that could have been done and should have been done, but it didn't have the political will from the Premier.
Right. What he also announced today was specifically for the removal of alcohol sales, trade barriers in alcohol sales as well. This is something that I understand previous Liberal governments weren't really supportive of. If that's the case, and specifically regarding alcohol, would you be willing to move forward with that?
Look, if the people of BC can enjoy our Ontario wine, that's great. And Quebec as well.
Hi. On your mental health announcement today, you said it would cost about $1 billion. What exactly are we talking about here? Is it unlimited counseling? What's included?
Yeah. So there'll be more explanation as we roll out the platform. I will say that it will serve those people who don't have coverage today. So when we look at the packages, maybe some of you enjoy or maybe you don't. We'll look at the kind of coverage that people who do receive care get provided, and we'll try and duplicate, resemble that, emulate those to provide that access to more counseling and the need, right? Because look at the cost to our economy today, with people not being productive, not going to work, in crisis. Look at the growing homeless population that aren't getting the care and the treatment that they need. This is the cost of not doing it.
Covering mental health under OHIP is a NDP promise from 2022. Is this part of your appeal to NDP voters?
Well, as you well know, I believe in a strong publicly funded healthcare system, and that we don't have one today. And to get a strong public healthcare system, we need to change the government. And that's why I'm asking people from all parties, people who may have voted for another party last time, vote Ontario Liberal if you want to have a family doctor, if you want a strong public healthcare system. Please vote for the Ontario Liberals. We have a lot of momentum. Yeah, we're the underdogs, but I can feel the sail in our winds, and heck, I always vote on the underdogs, so I hope you will too.
Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning.
If next Thursday Premier Ford were to win a minority, or maybe I should ask this in two parts. If next Thursday Premier Ford was to win a minority government, would you be open to talking with the NDP about the possibility of forming some sort of coalition government? And on your pitch to NDP voters, what about ridings that have been held by the NDP that maybe there's fear of a progressive vote split in your call, like London Fanshawe, where they've held it for a very long time? Have there been any conversations with the NDP about ridings like those that are safe Liberal, safe NDP?
So in a minority government situation, it'll be on a vote-by-vote basis. There is no formal coalition. We can have discussions, but it'll always be on a vote-by-vote basis. And I will be honest with you, I will attempt to overthrow the Ford government at the first opportunity should there be a minority government, because I need to change the direction of the province. And we have a different plan and a different vision.
So just to clarify, that means you would be open to talking with the NDP about the possibility of forming a partnership?
Well, I mean, the reality is today we speak on, how everyone is voting on whether we're supporting legislation that's coming forward or not. It's always on a vote-by-vote basis. There's not going to be a commitment to vote together on everything, because I don't know what everything might be.
On the matter of NDP support, the NDP today released a statement accusing some Liberal candidates of basically being former Tories or taking money from Tories, and I'm wondering what you would say to New Democrats who you are actively wooing to convince them that it's not just defeating the Ford government, that there's an actual, is there any actual common ground philosophically?
Oh, look, I understand it must be tough right now for that leader in that party who have promised everything to everyone, and they think money grows on trees, quite frankly. But we have the wind in our sails, and so yeah, we're appealing to everyone. I need everyone to come together so that we can defeat this government. If you want a strong healthcare system and you want a family doctor, I'm asking that you vote Ontario Liberals, and then we can change the government.
And on the mental health care, based on what you were describing, it sounds like this would be modeled more on the OHIP plus idea from the previous Liberal government, where you're looking at more at filling the gap in private care and private prescription, not provincializing the entire sector.
That is, I believe, yes, that is the approach we're taking. Okay, but it should fall under OHIP, so it will be paid, right? If you don't have access to coverage, we'll make sure that you do for mental health, right?
Building on some of those questions a little bit, I'm wondering, is the messaging here to appeal to not just NDP voters, but seemingly all voters, a conscious messaging decision? You last week were appealing very directly just to the NDP. Yeah. Why now broadening that appeal? Well, I'm appealing to all voters, anyone interested in ensuring that they have a family doctor, anyone who wants a strong public health care system. If you want that, we need to change the government. So I'm asking for your support to vote for the Ontario Liberals. We may be the underdog today with a week to go, but we have a lot of momentum, and our message is resonating with people. And you said there'd be more details of this mental health care plan in a platform, but we're a week away from the election and there is no platform. I know it's a snap election, but what does that say to would-be Liberal voters who are waiting for you to make more clear promises and direction about where this party stands? Oh, I think Liberal voters are very, very clear on our platform and our priorities. I challenge you as to where's the Conservative platform? Is it costed? Or what are they going to do for you? It'll be more of selling off the Greenbelt and giving away government money to foreign-owned spas and wasting it on expediting the sale of beer and wine. Where's their platform? Where's their investment going? Because all I see is a crumbling healthcare system and a crumbling education system and no meaningful investment in things that matter to people to get the basics right here in this province so that we can attract investment again and have our economy grow.
Okay, that now concludes our press conference. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.